Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks at TalkToProfit.com. And today I want to answer a question that I've had posed to me in different ways from people, mainly people trying to talk down their abilities, the grace of God in their lives, and to make excuses. And it's this: can everyone become a multimillionaire by the law of attraction? And I got to be clear by what I mean by multimillionaire is current dollars, US dollars, not some foreign currency that is worth nothing and millions of dollars in that currency would be the equivalent of $50 here. Nothing like that. I'm talking about real, tangible, right now, multi-million-dollar purchasing power. And the answer is, can people do that by the law of attraction? Absolutely. Everyone could. But saying that does not mean everybody will, or it's going to be easy for everyone, that some people don't have it easier. Of course, everyone has different obstacles, different challenges in their own lives based on their gifts and abilities and what they've done with it. I've known people who weren't bright, had all kinds of obstacles and hurdles that you would think would have kept them back, but because they were diligent in their efforts, because they were consistent, because they weren't lazy, they weren't indolent, they didn't adapt to common culture of just going to work for a few hours a day, coming home and watching television and movies and videos and playing video games and all this stuff that people do to waste their time, and then wonder where their life went, wonder why they have no achievement, wonder why they've accomplished nothing, and then blame God for it or say, well, that law of attraction stuff doesn't work. And of course, they're wrong. This isn't to say that everybody is in the position they're in because they've done all these wrong things. Of course not. But there are some things you have to do in order for the law of attraction to work in your favor. It works all the time, but for most people, it's working against them. And one of the things that is commonly missed is that you have to act. God gives you guidance. He leads you in all truth. He shows you things. And I don't know how many times I've had people tell me, well, I had this business idea, but somebody else did it. God's given people multi-million-dollar ideas and they don't run with it. And then they blame God. Then they say, well, the law of attraction doesn't work. That must not be a real law because it didn't work for me. Well, no, it does work for you. That's why you're where you are. Now, Jesus made the law of attraction very clear in Mark chapter 11, verse 23, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. But see, there's a key there. You can say something, you can pray, you can believe for it, but you have to not doubt in your heart, but believe that those things which you say shall come to pass, you'll have whatsoever you say. So you must believe you already received. And that's the very next verse. He says and clarifies this point, saying, therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. See, the ye shall have them thing is the time-bound part, because we live in a time-based reality. So if you want an apple tree to grow from a seed, there's some time is going to elapse before you get the apple tree and get apples growing from it. But what you are required to do, not doubting in your heart, but believing those things that you say shall come to pass, is believe that you receive them right now. Acting in faith, believing in faith. And then doing the things that you would do because you had received those things. Not living in doubt, not living in unbelief. So this could be, if you want to go on a vacation, you get vacation brochures, or you look up places in that city and map out where you're going to go, or that country, because you're acting in faith. You don't have to go buy a ticket or do anything like that, because sometimes people do stuff like that thinking they're going to trick God into making it happen. Well, if I go ahead and buy the ticket, I'm showing I have faith. No, that's presumption in many cases. It's not faith. It's actually a form of doubt, because you're trying to make it happen because you don't believe that it already has, that you've already received. You wouldn't go do that and flail around, panicking, trying to make things happen if you believed you received. And this is a fundamental key. This is why so many people are not multimillionaires, so many people are not successful. It doesn't matter, you don't have to be a multimillionaire. I'm just using that as an example because that is seen for many people as something unattainable. And I'm telling you, it is attainable. You may not get there because you may not want that. And that's fine. Doesn't matter if you're comfortable where you are and that's a blessing of the Lord and you're doing your best and you're giving your all and you're living and working as unto the Lord, then you're doing everything you need to do. But don't tell me you don't want to be a multimillionaire because you're just trying to make an excuse for something you don't believe you can get. Because that's what so many people do with their dreams, their hopes, their desires, is say, well, I don't really want that. I don't want that house. I don't want that car. I don't want that relationship. I don't want that peace, because they really don't believe they can have it. So it's easier just to pretend you don't want it than to go for it and believe and act in faith. But if your desire is to be a multimillionaire, you absolutely can be. But you have to act. And you have to, by faith, not doubting, believe that you have received. You have to walk in that faith, confident, bold, believing, acting on the wisdom God gives you, because He'll give you multi-million-dollar ideas. I remember when I started one of my first successful companies, and I started a bunch of companies when I was a teenager that failed miserably and were disasters, but my first real successful company, it was just something that I had this idea. And I thought, you know what, this could work. I used my last little bit of rent money. I was going to be out of a house if I didn't make something happen for this business. Now, that's not to tell you to go out and take big risk when you don't have that God-given idea. But when you do, that's the time to start taking some risks. That's the time to start putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak, to be bold in your faith, to not be doubting. We're not talking about presumption here. We're talking about, you know, this is an idea from God. You can see all the aspects of how this could work. It's just going to take some time, some money, and some effort. You're going to take action. And that thing became a wild success because I took that small risk. At the time, it seemed like a huge risk. Where am I going to come up with this money? I have no, it was only $500, but that's all I had. And if I couldn't pay my rent, and I had no hope I had no job, so I quit my job to do this, to run this business, to start this business. What am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to come up with $500. I just used it all for this business, and now I'm out. I had to make it work. But I knew that there was something there, something inherent in the idea that was divine, the God-given idea. But many people don't do that. I'm not talking about you have to take big risks, because many people are in a position where they don't have to take a risk, or investing $500 to start a company is nothing for them. And hopefully that's where you are. But they won't even do that. Something that's little to no risk to them, and they won't even do that. Now, maybe you're in a position where you have nothing. That's okay. What can you do? What is that idea that keeps coming to mind that you believe is God-given divine idea? What can you do today toward that goal, toward accomplishing that idea? It doesn't have to be money, but it could be a lot of time. It could be a lot of effort. Instead of watching those movies, watching television, listening to music, playing video games, and all this stuff that people waste time with, what can you do toward that goal, that idea that will bring you closer to achieving it? My friend, you absolutely can be a multimillionaire by the law of attraction. The vast majority of people won't. 99.9% probably will not, because they will not take action. They won't first get into faith enough to even believe for it. They'll talk about believing it. They'll claim they believe it. They'll use all the right words, but in their heart they doubt because they don't take any action. They believe God for it, but they just want money to rain down out of heaven. They don't want to do anything. And heaven never rewards those who are lazy, never rewards the indolent. It's always that when you see a man that's diligent in his business, he will stand before kings. The sluggard's not rewarded. The lazy person's not rewarded except with curses and destruction that they bring upon themselves because they've sown that. They've sown the seeds that can only reap that. But you're different. You're believing in faith. You're acting in faith. You're daily sowing seeds that are bringing about a bigger and bigger harvest of abundance, blessing, luxury, opulence, wealth, riches, whatever it may be you need, health, peace, joy, love, all these things you're reaping harvest in because you're believing that you received when you prayed. You're having whatsoever you say because you are not doubting in your heart. My friend, you can have anything you want if you believe and act in faith. And I would be ending this video without giving you an important tool if I didn't mention my Success and Prosperity Journal and Planner. The reason I'm mentioning this is not just to sell you something, but it's because it is something that I personally use each and every day. It's valuable. And if you're trying to achieve success, you're trying to really take your life up to the next level, you're not just talking about it and going through the motions, but you want to act in faith and believe and take action on those divine ideas you get, this journal and planner will absolutely help you do that. It gives you the structure, the plan, the outline for you to set up each evening for the next day to walk toward that goal, another step toward that goal, toward your success, toward your prosperity, towards your abundance, towards your health, towards your love, towards everything you're seeking in life, using the law of attraction and taking action. So I encourage you to get that today. I'll put a link in the description to it. It'll be absolutely valuable and a treasure in your life, an important tool to help you get to that next level. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.